We changed the shape of the ocean floor, and that's what made the tsunami. So there's a lot of people that would be close by to this earthquake. This is what we call, it's actually the stuck surface of the subduction zone, and they are the biggest type of earthquakes in the world.
Describe for us what a subduction zone earthquake does.
Okay, well, in a subduction zone, we have the Pacific Ocean is actually literally diving in under Japan, and as it scrapes down there, it melts, and that's what gives us the volcanoes of Japan. And so it's and because they're stuck that way, the area over which the earthquake happens can get to be very large, and that's what makes for these largest magnitudes. We're also going to see waves very long periods. So we're going to see really big motion of the high rises and really tall buildings and really big bridges. That will be very extensive. The other thing to know is that the tsunami locally could go on all day. Depending on what the tide is, you can even see the biggest waves quite a bit later, because once you're adding in high tide, that makes it worse. I have no idea what the tides are in Japan right now.
Yeah, what we've been seeing here is absolutely remarkable, and I wanted to ask you, as you look at these pictures, our San Andreas fault is nothing like this, so we would not have anything similar to this, right?
Right. The subduction zones produce the worst tsunamis. Now, we can imagine ways of doing it, but the San Andreas is on land. Therefore, it's not moving around any ocean floor. You have to change the height of the ocean floor to generate these big tsunamis. But we could. I mean, I don't know what that wave will do to California. It's going to take a few hours to see the modeling come through. But historically, there are places in California that have received extensive damage from what we call tele-tsunamis, tsunamis that have crossed the Pacific Ocean. One's from Alaska and one's from Chile, have killed people in California.
Yeah.
Not so much in Los Angeles.
As we're watching a fire at a refinery, they're calling this an inferno. This is north of Tokyo. We had talked earlier about a warning system in Japan where people there got about a 10-second warning. What do you make of a warning system? And there's been talk of California getting a warning system. Are they that effective?
All right, what we're talking about here is recognizing that the earthquake's underway and sending that information to a more distant site before the waves of the earthquake actually get there. So how many seconds you get depends on how far away you are from where the earthquake begins. Japan invested $600 million in creating such a system, and it went operational in 2007, late 2007. I don't know yet what messages went out because of this. When the earthquake's offshore, it's more of a challenge because you don't have the stations offshore to tell you that it's underway. But they probably were warned in some areas. And previous earthquakes in Japan, they've clearly saved a lot of money because of manufacturing capabilities that were able to shut down before they got heavily damaged. You only need a few seconds for something like that. There's warnings in hospitals that can, get the surgeon to take the knife out of your chest before the shaking starts.
Right.
There's a lot of very practical things. We are prototyping such a system for Southern California, but we haven't gotten any funding for it yet.
Lucy,
we did use ERA funding to start the process.
Right, I recall that. I recall we did a story on that. Lucy, let me just do some quick housekeeping. This is obviously going to keep you very busy throughout the night. At what point can we expect a briefing, either in a few hours or in the morning, at your location to get a complete picture of this?
I think we will be definitely in the early morning and try to handle the morning news services, but I haven't yet heard exactly when the lab is going to be open. It'll depend on, we don't actually process much of this information here in Southern California. We're a local, we're for the California issues, but our office in Golden, Colorado, is going to be working through the night and will be sending us the updates.
What is it you would want to know about this quake as you continue to study quakes around the world as time goes on, as this settles down just a bit?